It is said, and this I have heard from a ghost who knew Elba, who knew Elliot, who is said to have known Sigurd himself, that the king had a great thirst. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Oh, excuse me, I'm trying to prepare for the next show. Autographs will have to wait until the end. I doubt I have to tell you that I am the amazing singing Stefan, the only sentient severed head in Sicile. My audience sings... You're a source hunter, aren't you? Oh, bless the seven. Look, you've got to help me. I've been pleasure to meet you. Now, please, Stefan has many fans to meet today. Psst, help me. Take me to Reginald's cellar. There I will reveal everything.
Fantastic!
You there! Take a seat. Prepare to laugh your head off. Cry your eyes out and teeter on the edge of your seat with an original tale from Stefan. I am Reginald the Illusionist, purveyor of the most amazing artifact in Andevale. This fantastical talking head. Catch the act while you... That's right, a talking head. And he doesn't just talk. He'll weave you a yarn so fantastic, you'll be begging to hear just... I obtained this curio, but you see, I was diving in search of a rare medicinal sea herb. I volunteer at the local children's apothecary on weekends. Though the chest was stuck fast, I summoned a I had the treasure of a lifetime in my very hands. But then, slurp in the hubbub, I lost hold of my prize and watched it sink to the bottom of the beast's cavern. Before my mind's eye swam the faces of the many war widows and grabbing fast to the hilt of a cutlass that floated by at just that moment. I summoned all my strength to slash it, freeing myself from my would-be tomb. It was there, along the rocky beach. Ah! Yes, I know of that talentless bull. He was here entertaining the troops before I was brought in. I'm sure Enter Reginald the Illusionist. We need our boy...
Fantastic!
Today, I think, a king. The great Sigurd and his rainbow of war machines. It is said, and this I have heard from a ghost who knew Elba, who knew Elliot, who is said to have known Sigurd himself, that the king had a great thirst for colour. So ardently did he crave creamy blues and gory reds that he ordered a contest across his realm.
Tricks of kids! This here is the greatest illusion in Andevale!
Bravo! By the seven!
Today, I think, a king. The great Sigurd and his rainbow of war machines. It is said, and this I have heard from a ghost who knew Elba, who knew Elliot, who is said to have known Sigurd himself, that the king had a great thirst for colour. So ardently did he crave creamy blues and gory reds that he ordered a contest across his realm. Today, I think, a king. The great Sigurd and his rainbow of war machines. It is said, and this I have heard from a ghost who knew Elba, who knew Elliot, who is said to have known Sigurd himself, that the king had a great thirst for colour. So ardently did he crave creamy blues and gory reds that he ordered a contest across his realm.
My word!
Today, I think, a king. The great Sigurd and his rainbow of war machines.
Fantastic!
It is said, and this I have heard from a ghost who knew Elba, who knew Elliot, who is said to have known Sigurd himself, that the king had a great thirst for colour.
This show is worth the hype. Though that bloke at the back seems to be having a bit too much
Across his realm.
What are you looking at me for? There's a great show going on right in front of you. And look, there stands the world-famous Reginald the Entertainer. Better check it out if you don't want to miss the time of... Oh, I'm not nothing but your average man taking in the best show I've ever seen. I'm amazed and astounded that for a meager gold coin or two, I can take in this first. Well, I've stumbled into quite the fine gig. I'll just let my appreciation for Reggie's work be known, and he slips me a few gold coins in return. My voice
Sigurd and his rainbow of war
Back
machines.
for more, I see! Well, I can't say I'm surprised. Are you impressed by my prowess in the arts of entertainment? Nothing attracts a crowd like a crowd. And that crowd warmer has increased my profits by 60%, simply by showing a little...
Rory read that he ordered a
My
contest
word.
across his realm.
Come on,
My
come on,
word!
and see the amazing
Fantastic.
singing Stefan! Sicil's only sentient...
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Oh, excuse. It won't be the worst indeed.
What do you think you are doing?
Today, I think. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Oh, excuse me. What do you call a source hunter who finds a way to draw a crowd away from where he or she would like a resourceful hunter? Come now, it can't be that hard to find something to...
My word.
My word!
Come on, come on!
Fantastic.
and
What are
see
you
the-
looking at me for? There's a great show. Oh, I'm nothing. Well,
Enjoying the fair, aren't you? Of course you are.
Fantastic.
You there! You don't look like someone who's ever been...
My word.
You there! You don't look like someone who's ever been serenaded by a severed head. Stand right up! You there! You don't look like someone who's ever been serenaded by a severed head.
Ah! If you think black sheep are weird, try.
Well, what's this I've spotted?
Milk. I give wool? And what do I get in return?
The earth here seems to have been freshly fertilized and aerated. Obviously, someone has taken great care to maintain this gravesite.
We and our shovels will do as we please. We most certainly will not. We'll respect this gravesite by leaving it be. Whoever's buried here won't notice that we've disturbed the dirt above them. I'd hate to see you ruin those lovely hands of yours with calluses and dirt.
No, we'll do as I say.
As you prepare to break ground, you gaze at the dirt beneath your...
This is wrong. We shouldn't disturb this.
Right you are.
You step away.
Moo! Don't disturb Master Theliron now.
Neither of you cares to plead for his very existence.
But if one were to reduce the quantity of skull dust by a percentage of 2, perhaps the stability could be increased by as much as 3-fold.
So, which of you is more deserving of life? Come, make your case.
Oh, a source hunter. Imagine that. Quite a bit more petite than the last of your kind I encountered, aren't you? No matter. Even if it couldn't spare its heartiest specimen, I'm sure the Order sent the individual with the next highest probability of success. Huh? Me? Why, it was I who cured the Duchess of Arata of her unslakable thirst. A simple pinch of Atropa belladonna in it. Not to mention that it's been my guidance that has permitted my apprentice Evelyn to make quite a name for herself around... Yes. If that's how we're referring to the secretive use of a revolutionary healing method, she's in the other room as we speak. Perhaps you can prevail upon her to offer a demonstration. She's gotten hold of a stone, supposedly capable of fantastic feats. But she claims to have gotten the relic from a little northern town, Silver. Utter rubbish, I say. But with these blasted undead haunting the travel, well, she certainly possesses a critical art. I expect she'll be a very successful healer in her own right when the time... Sorry, but there isn't much work for sailors in a house of meds. Unless one of them... Certainly, what would you like to know? The counsellor. Terrible loss, that. Though we were hardly more than acquainted, from what I can tell, it seems to be a simple case of jealousy turned violent. I've applied myself to that problem for... I declare it an act of the Almighty's, if I believed in such things.
Come,
Interesting indeed. Nothing sets me on edge like inexplicable magic.
excuse me. This is a private sick room. Who in the name of the Seven do you think you are barging in here? Oh, I'm sorry. It's this task. I'm just... Who am I to meddle with life and death this way? I'm an apprentice of the healing arts. Healing! But this decision feels like precisely the opposite. I have but one healing stone, you see. I've been racking my brain trying to decide on the best method to settle this grave situation. But perhaps it's better off in the hands of an... Yes, a curious relic indeed. I got it from a kindly abbot, Loic by name, in the northern town of Silver Glen. I myself was nothing if not skeptical of his claims, but something happened as he handed me the stone. But it's strange. The stone is only good for a single use at a time before it reverts to a useless, inert state. It takes time to regain its magical properties. And what would you like to know? One of the brave few willing to traverse the trade routes plagued by the undead. A young man, but excellent in matters of business. Thankfully for him, a cattle trade of quite the venerable staple of Sicile, Stephen, and recently blessed with his third grandchild. He was leading a crew of builders when a stray beam. Nearly everyone in Sicile. Don't dither long. What a relief to share the burden of this impossible task. What do you think? Would you like to learn more about the patients before making a decision? In this moment, I do believe I'm the most pain-stricken soul in Sicile. To choose so directly between... You are? I thank you.
Far?
Boris's life has just begun. We can't cut it short now. He should receive the stone.
Yes. Boris deserves...
Boris it is? Yes. I'll deliver the stone. I'm glad we'll get to say...
Thank
No,
the savage.
no! This is highly abnormal! What is this? This lightning!
What happened? Is this a dream?
I don't think so. That stone, somehow it sent us flying into the stars.
Terrible, terrible, terrible! It will consume us all. By the quill that lasts a billion words, what's this? 2 Rivalonians here? Oh yes, proper introductions. Zigzags the historian at your service. It is my job. As for how I got here, well, for a historian appointed... How you got here, though? On such a tiny and rapidly shrinking vestige... at last a question I can answer most definitively. Time ought naturally to have no end at all. Indeed, I can think of no worse night. Show, don't tell, I always say. So, go.
That imp may be quite mad. Then we had better appease him and have a look through the looking lens.
Come now, don't be... You first. You looked. You saw. Terrifying, isn't... What's this? The portal. It's... The portal has become active. Fantastic, astounding.
we should go. The portal! It's quite sprung to life. Just you, dear stranger, you must. Those torches, alight! This portal active once more. It cannot be coincidence. Goodness me, how right you are. There's so much to take in. It is the void itself. The dragon that is... I can't say for sure where it came from, how or why, but I do know this. It's shrinking. It's not that I believe, it's that I have seen. Then, no longer than a few mere moments after you arrive, zap it! Though I cannot say for certain. In fact, every last question that ever plagued your noggin might well... But why spoil the mystery? After you... You first, you first. Yes! Just as I hoped. There she is. There it is. Come.
And he's off. It seems the imp has spotted exactly who and what it hoped to find here.
The last test! If you believe yourself worthy of rifling through my ample treasures, I do dare you to prove it! Fine.
Could it be, milady? The weaver of time? Mother of history? Author of all that has ever...
Indeed, Sir Imp. As surely as you are he who chronicles all that I weave.
Astounding! Unbelievable!
You have brought guests, I see.
My reaction exactly, milady. It was their arrival here at the end of time.
This is a question better put to our guests themselves. Tell us, how did you arrive upon this? A stone? So... it was a stone. Not like this, no. What happened to you is unique in all my work. Never had I experienced something so contrary to my nature. To weave something, but yours has. You appeared before me from the...
But, Madam Weaver, how is it possible? Do you not see all...
Like the stones, your guests are a mystery to me. I see them before me in this world, source hunters. It would seem that yourselves and Starstone are inextricably linked. Starstone is not what it seems, source hunter. It's true. Do you see what violence my work has suffered? What wounds lay upon the tapestry of time?
Mysteries of all time. Gaps in history.
It would appear that Starstone transforms at your touch, granting...
I see. What the...
Yes. Though I cannot explain why this Starstone is the If we do not restore time, if we do not discover the true nature of these stones, the void will consume us all. Indeed you must, though I may not yet understand why. It seems that you and you alone...
Why, of course! That's what they were doing. I have recorded their doings, you see. Collectors of Starstone, more and more by the day. Now...
Without these stones, Hunter, there will be no Rivellon. The entire tapestry will crumble, even...
That shall never be, milady. As sure as he's our most mysterious guest. Come, come! I got something for you if you're up to the challenge. What'll it be, Source Hunter? Do tell! What'll it be, Source Hunter? Do tell!
Not a moment ago, we were hunting Source in Rivellon.
And now we're being told that we alone can prevent the end of time by way of some magical stones. What do you make of it?
We can't deny our reaction to Starstone. There must be something to all of this, mad as it may seem.
No matter how improbable.
The glint in your gaze and the set of your brow suggest with you searching out Starstone. But you'll need a way to travel between Rivalon and this homestead, won't you? Luckily, the power of portals is known to you, so I'll let you in on the little secret. Off you go, then. You've Starstone to find, and I've a tapestry. Cross my heart, hope to fade. Like the imp said to the ballista operator, wouldn't it just? Would that I, just like yourselves, Starstones are, from what I can gather though, they were once cherished by Bruins, caves, the lairs of long-forgotten evils. Those are the dens you should frequent. 2 more pieces of advice. Oh, I don't know if I'm more than those things per se, but having been given a divine mission does have its perks. Old age can't touch me, but of course I have a price to pay for something that is priceless. It is my duty to so gather those Starstones so that we may know the history that was lost. Know so that we must not repeat what leads us to this dangerous threat. Before you go, Source Hunter, a final word. Once, I hope he'll be able to help you as much as...
How welcome you are upon this realm, our most honored. In the ethereal threads of eternity, do I record the deeds of gods and men, of beasts and spectral apparitions, the drift of continents through changing seas, the rise and fall of empires, except, it seems, you ask and I shall answer, if I can. Quite so. Your absence, I do not know you, but perchance I may be cured of this blindness. Perchance the blemish may be undone, and oh, Hunter, I have no need for company, like I have, and yet I do enjoy your
The Lady of Time, the Weaver of History. I am your biggest fan, dear lady. Could I get your...
Source Hunters, I welcome you once again to the realm of Rivellon after your... I know the imp historian has told you about his agent on Rivellon, and that agent is I. So now that you know of the alliance between... And I'll be delighted to give it. Dark webs are being woven around these... It can therefore hardly be a coincidence that Councillor Jake was a collector of the stones we seek. That means the task you have been given remains crucial. Find the assassin that did away with Jake, for you're bound to stumble upon Starstone along the way. While you were being lectured by our friend the historian, and the advantage of being a cat, you know, you go where you please with impute. That's where I saw them in a cabinet. Mere slivers, but specks of starstones nonetheless. Don't we all long for a sanctuary where our worldly troubles can be held at bay? A bed or a basket, but perhaps I speak only for myself. Not for veterans such as yours. Like any cat worth its salt, though, I deeply cherish a secret refuge. Let me phrase it like Zigzags might. A universe without time is like a pen without ink. A pointless instrument stripped of the potential of creation. I'll not pretend to have all the answers, or that I understand all that is happening here and out there among the stars. If Zigzags worries, I worry. We are talking about a creature, after all, that has reclined among... I met him first, a long time ago, out in the wastes of Youthful Gore. He wondered aloud, what on earth... So I told him who I was and showed him my human form. In the end, he even shared his great sorrow with me. The unspeakable thing you... Oh, before you go, here. Take this teleporter pyramid. You'll need the other one too if you want to make use of its powers, but... Alas, I seem to have... Now that this matter has been settled, Hunters, I shall detain you no longer.
Pepper. Did it sprout legs and run away?
My gods! What is going on here? First I have to shoo away a creeping white tomcat, and now there's a perfect stranger in my bathroom. Get out, will you? total mix-up indeed. Out! No!
If she soaks in flower stink, here we'll smell this lady from a field away. I'll save a leg of something good for when she begins to starve.
You there! A moment of your indulgence, if you please. You are the source hunter, are you not? No, scratch that. It is so much more than a Mendius at your service. What is my profession? Well, I'll tell you what it used to be, and that is a man of medicine. But what does a man of medicine do but mend what has first been broken? I saved lives, to be sure. Oh, it's not merely an opportunity.
Of course I do. How could someone in my profession not?
Quite right.
See here. You and I share the same... too bad your line of work comes with such measly recompense. Am I...
Quiet day on the market, it seems.
Riches do not interest me much, actually.
Nor me.
Oh, but I know you're just being bashful. I bet. Even so, my friend, matters of a pecuniary nature aside, what is life without variety, without spice?
So you're just hanging around again, are you? Waiting for what?
It's better to lead than to follow. That much is true.
Better to be so...
Well spoken. Well said indeed. Life's too and that is exactly why I am here. Why fate has put me right by the door to the King Crab. The fabulous five. How I enjoy simply saying the words that describe the you'd like nothing more than to enlist. What a gem of a question. Now then, to join the fabulous five is to join a fellowship, to join a fraternity, a sorority. Of course, should you spread the word, should you propagate, by now the genial glow of the fellowship must have warmed your heart. It has. Work hard. Fulfill contracts. Enlist new knights, and they call the undead a problem, my friend. But those who know the ways of the fabulous...
No better solution to the zombie problem than a set of silver arrows.
Garfield, now, that's...
Don't scuttle away before you've tried some of the ocean's finest bounty. How many crab claws would you like?
No better solution to the zombie problem than a set of silver arrows.
Well, hello there.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Not in the mood for cheese. The excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine Corbin there.
Don't talk to me. You're making me lose the focus. Can't you see I'm busy, Madeline? All those naysayers in the past. Bah! See what I've become. Hundreds of years from now, people...
Ah, hello, proportionate one. Oh, I can see from the symmetry in your face that you are a great fan of the fine arts, no? I'm a painter by trade, as you can see, but a cartographer at... I travel around Andervale, mastering my craft and...
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Source hunters, eh? All right, proper, we're finally getting a hand. Things is, if you've got a favourite sheep, best to fry her up now before she gets thieved in the night like me dear plump Ogget, the finest in me herd. Now that the herd's gone, old Birch is just scratching by like a hen till the next batch should be. I recently sold most of the tender loves to a trader heading north. Plenty of business that way these days. Those miners. Oh, Oggett. Yeah, sorry, can't help you there. Haven't got enough livestock left to warrant a hat.
Let's see. Ah, gracious patron, I see your tired eyes looking a bit teary. I've just the potion for that. Or would you prefer a toasty fire spell to dry those vapours?
Bleeding waste, standing here without so much as a piglet in the pen.
Any takers? Come on, you chickens!
Livestock's got twice the sense and thrice the soul of the average human, I say.
Pay the big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Any takers? Come on, you chickens! What are ye staring at?
Lawn, sir.
Captain Jack's the name, though the title may be a little generous at the moment. My crew ran off, and I can't find enough hot. Those scallywags heard there be silver in the Lacula mines, and they abandoned some poor chaps, lost their ship, and want some work. Just send them to me.
Say, no one's around. You wouldn't raise a fuss if I, borrowed one of these fish, would you?
Borrow, indeed. I'll sooner meet a cat wizard than see that merchant repaid.
Come now, I'll be good for it, I swear. Oh, my story's tired by now. I was happy enough, prosperous enough. I never would have dreamt of resorting to petty theft during better times. But what choice have I got now? If it's... So what do you think? Should I snag?
That merchant has to eat too, you know. Leave the fish alone.
Yes, you...
I suppose you've got a point. Fed a hungry man, you know.
That thief is free for now. But I wonder how long it'll be until his growling bell... Thank you for making that would-be thief see reason. I only hope your instruction lasts. The last thing the plagued people of Sicil need is a thief.
I wouldn't let it all within 500 yards of my loving nature.
Oh,
Have you found us a job yet? We'll take anything, really. So there's a captain offering booze and brass for a bit of crate.
Oh, and don't forget the time he got caught passing a love note to the Lizard Councillor's wife.
Is that why we never sail to Yuthel Gore anymore?
Speaking of youthful gore, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that...
Sauce? Here it...
Now, this is valuable.
What do you think you're doing?
I've got my eye on you, Baron.
I am a...
Not in the mood for cheese. Their excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine Norman fare.
A sauce hunter will always receive a warm welcome at the
Golly gosh, one who flaunts the highways and byways of silly old Sicile. But where are my manners? I am Maxine, and you must be one of those hunters. I'm the mayor's cat, don't you know? Born and raised on velvets and viands of most exquisite... But of course, darling. Oh, this quaint little town is a tad too parochial for one of my more urbane tastes. But one has to make do, hasn't one? The fresh sea... Heavens forbid! No, fear is rather too strong a term there, hunter dearest. The predator...
A sauce hunter? Oh, what a sight for sore Sicilian eyes. Me? I live alone here in town. He's always been something of a rascal, calling his petty hooliganism adventure. For my part, I encouraged him to join the Legion. Even got him sparring with Captain Aureus now and then. That band of... I don't even know what to call them. Well, they're his heroes, and I simply couldn't...
What? Oh, it's you. Come closer then. Closer, huh? My ears aren't what they used to be. Nor my eyes, for that matter. Yes, hello, my elf. Oh, myself. I am Cecil, Mayor of Sicile, and husband of the stately Cecilia. I've been the mayor here for decades, and I'm quite eager to see Sicile. Oh, what? Oh, you mean Sicile? Very difficult times indeed, as though the death of Jake, and by source magic no less, weren't enough. Where the undead have overrun all but one northern trade route, while the orcs are making a habit. That's not to mention that at the top of this whole caboodle, there's rumors of some new religious sect or cult or some such sticking its tendrils into the inner... And, while we're on the subject of troubles, I myself have a private matter I'd like to bring to your attention. It involves Jake murdered? Oh, yes. Yes, now I recall. Indeed. I could hardly believe it myself. Most of the townsfolk are certain Jake's wife Esmeralda is responsible. In fact, as you can imagine, I've known Esmeralda for years. That business between her and the Duke of Ferrol was always a bit... an all-right bloke, apart from all this Esmeralda nonsense. The whole town knows the only goal of his business trips to Sicile is to spend a night or two at the... What? The undead? Yes, For the past 2 years, those blasted skeletons have all but suffocated this city. With all but one. What of what now? Oh, you're you mean the staff of Pergamon. Yes, yes. I was expecting a shipment of weapons, and among the cargo. Cecil proved an old fool, though. For the merchant slated to deliver it to me has just informed me that the damn thing, his name is Conrad, captain of the Tide Splitter. A merchant ship, still the staff itself contains a shard of an ore, highly valued for its... Well, I do believe that's something your parents ought to have discussed with you long ago, Source Hunter. But, you see, when a lady and a fellow find each other rather... Oh, this is nonsense. I'm the mayor for the 7th sake. I can't be bothered to chat all day about the birds and the bees when Sicil's under siege by orcs, undead, and cultists. That depends. What kind of berries? The library. Yes, yes, you must have a visit. It's the gem of Sicil. Would you like to have a look? I'll escort you upstairs myself. Marvelous! What? Oh, yes. This library is the jewel. My Victoria has every volume you could possibly imagine. Yes. Victoria's come a long way from that little bundle of... What? Oh, yes, yes.
First edition too. Most promising. No, this isn't the grimoire I'm looking for. The Pseudomonarchia Daemonum. And the first edition too. Most promising. Omnes autem mali daemonis quam. What? What is this? Who are you to interrupt my musings? Oh, but perhaps I spoke too soon. Perhaps I was mistaken, for you hardly resemble the local fisherfolk, which, incidentally, no. A source hunter, that is what you are. Yes, a stalker of sorcery, a chaser of charms pernicious. Why? Simply because you hunt source, and I, Jehan, hunt demons. You are aware now. I hate what I hunt, but I respect its cunning. Should I not, I'd have been decimated, body and soul, long since.
Volume of poetry among
This is a
novels?
sentiment I'm quite certain you must recognize. On one condition, that on our joint travels we will never deal with demonic entities, no matter how tempting their propositions. Give me your word on this, and I'll weave you spells.
Hasn't she? Who placed this book here? A volume of poetry among novels? Urak.
Very well. There will be no deals with demons.
Agreed. Nothing...
Most gratifying. I see you are firm of purpose, and thereby ready to
Who placed this book here? A volume of poetry among novels? Urak! What mayhem! The knight in see-through armor? Princess Buttercup with the blushing bottom? Sterntecken! Esmeralda does have a propensity for all things naughty, hasn't she?
Princess Buttercup with the blushing bottom, Stenteken. Esmeralda does have a propensity for all things naughty, hasn't she? Volume 1, Volume 2. Where's the third one gone? Shatsu. Sometimes I think these books sprout little legs in the night. Volume 1, Volume 2. But where's the third one gone? Shatsu. Sometimes I think these books sprout little legs in the night. Who placed this book here? A volume of poetry among novels? Urak! Mayhem. Place this book here. A volume of poetry among novels? Urak! What mayhem.
Interesting devices, these pygmies among pyramids. They may be small of stature, but their potential is gigantic. You do well to treat them with the utmost care. Perhaps it would even be for the best if you sling them into the reaches of infinity that surround the shelter plane. Better safe than sorry. It is an uncommonly trite thing to say, but it applies to all things demon-dreamt and devised. How I pity you. You have a mouth, but do not taste. Eyes, but do not see. The very moment you are certain you have them in dueling with demons is like playing...
Sometimes I think these books sprout little legs in the night. Who placed this book here? A volume of poetry among novels? Urak! What mayhem. See-through armor, Princess Buttercup with the blushing bottom, Stenteken. Esmeralda does have a propensity for all things naughty, hasn't she? Volume 1, Volume 2. But where's the third one gone? Shatsu. Sometimes I think these books sprout little legs in the night. Volume 1, Volume 2. But where's the third one gone? Shatsu. Sometimes I think these books sprout little legs in the night. The knight in see-through armor, Princess Buttercup with the blushing bottom, Stenteken. Esmeralda does have a propensity for all things naughty, hasn't she? Volume 1, Volume 2. But where's the third one gone? Shatsu. Sometimes I think these books sprout little legs in the night. where's the third one gone? Shatsu. Sometimes I think these books sprout little legs in the night. Volume 1, Volume 2, but where's the third one gone? Shatsu. Sometimes I think these books sprout little legs in the night. Who placed this book here? A volume of poetry among novels? Urak! What mayhem! Place this book here. A volume of poetry among novels? Urak! What mayhem! Who placed this book here? A volume of poetry among novels? Urak! What mayhem! The knight in see-through armor, Princess Buttercup with the blushing bottom, Steadtecken. Esmeralda does have a propensity for all things naughty, hasn't she? The knight in see-through armor, Princess Buttercup with the blushing bottom, Steadtecken. Esmeralda does have a propensity for all things naughty, hasn't she? Volume 1, Volume 2, but where's the third one gone? Shatsu. Sometimes I think these books sprout little legs in the night. In the name of Amun-Hor, I bid thee Tujda Getahal, be welcome, human. My library is yours, as I hope your friendship is mine. I am Victoria, daughter of Mayor Cecil. Oh, I know what you're thinking. The light when I was very young, you see. I must have been cast out by my tribe, for I was the fisherman who found me would have drowned me on the spot, for I am an orc after all. But praise be Amun-Hor, dear he raised me like I was his own. This kindest of souls taught me the language. Indeed you may. The wisdom I here hoard is yours to peruse and even take with you. Dinor. A brief history of sorcery still hasn't been returned. Celeron will have to pay yet another fine.
Striking it rich!
Volume 1, Volume 2. But where where's the third one gone? Shatsu. Sometimes I think these books sprout little legs in the night. The knight in see-through armor, Princess Buttercup with the blushing bottom, Stetteken. Esmeralda does have a propensity for all things naughty, hasn't she? Volume 1, Volume 2. But where's the third one gone? Shatsu. Sometimes I think these books sprout little legs in the night. Who placed this book here? A volume of poetry among novels? Urak! What mayhem! Kajdenor. A brief history of sorcery still hasn't been returned. Teleron will have to pay yet another fine. The knight in see-through armor, Princess Buttercup with the blushing bottom, Stetteken. Esmeralda does have a propensity for all things naughty, hasn't she? Who placed this book here? A volume of poetry among novels? Urak! What mayhem! Kajdenor. A brief history of sorcery still hasn't been returned. Teleron will have to pay yet another fine. Kajdenor. A brief history of sorcery still hasn't been returned. Teleron will have to pay yet another fine. Volume 1, Volume 2. But where has the third one gone? Shatsu. Sometimes I think these books sprout little legs in the night. Who placed this book here? A volume of poetry among novels? Urak! What mayhem! Who placed this book here? A volume of poetry among novels? Urak! What mayhem! Tujageta, friend. Indeed you may. The wisdom I here hoard is yours to peruse and even... Kajdenor. A brief history of sorcery still hasn't been returned. Teleron will have to pay yet another fine. Who placed this book here? A volume of poetry among novels? Urak! What mayhem!
What? Oh, it's you! What news? That depends. The library. Yes, please yourself. Let me... Maxine? What in heaven's name are you? Oh, I spent months trying to teach that worthless hound how to fetch, and it sat through every lesson. I've always been more fond of cats myself.
Red and orange, yellow and green, the finest veggies size seals ever seen.
Get it while it's fresh. This batch is only hours from the sea.
To what do I owe the repeated pleasure, Source Hunter? Yes. If she's in the other room as we speak, perhaps you can prevail upon... Well, she certainly possesses... I expect she'll be a very successful The world belongs to the young, they say, and Boris will live to take his...
Thank you eternally for your help. Though your reaction to the healing stone, that strange reaction you caused, blue lightning from a healing stone, I've never seen anything like it. And the stone looks different now, too. Like it's devoid of life. I've been studying under Theleron for some... I've a passion for this work.
What on earth would...
Today, I think, a king. The great Sigurd and his rainbow of war machines. It is said, and this I have heard from a ghost who knew Elba, who knew Elliot.
What are you looking at me for? There's a great show going on.
Bravo! Yeehaw!
Enjoying the fair, aren't you? Of course.
You there? You look like a... What is it this time? No. A familiar face. Come, watch the show. I, a person whose sole job is to praise the performance and stir. Please, you must hire him. Don't pity when Rick... the stage calling you.
It is said, and this I have heard from a ghost who knew...
What are you looking at me for? There's a great... Well, I don't see why I should. Reginald and I have grown rather friendly, you know? And in any case, it'll be hard to pull myself away from this fantastic show.
Across his realm.
Ha! Tricks are for kids. This here is the greatest illusion in Enderville.
My word!
Today, I think, a king. The great Sigurd and his rainbow of war machines. It is said, and this I have heard from a ghost who knew Elba, who knew Elliot, who is said to have known Sigurd himself, that the king had a great thirst...
Well, I guess it's been long enough since I've stretched my wings a bit.
That he ordered a contest across his realm.
Just waiting for his big debut.
Liberté, equality, and brotherhood for all.
will do.
A familiar face. Don't pity me. When Reginald came.
Hey, it's you again! I don't have to tell you that Cedric's act will help you banish belly fat and inspire your kids to say no to drugs.
Oh, that Gallagher is quite the performer. One of my own... Oh.
I've just got back from the...
Shotting off to? Don't they want to hear how the story ends? Doesn't anyone care about the oldest Dragon Knight of Rivellon and his machines of...
Strange! You appear to be my only client. I knew that fool could never have garnered so much as a guffaw.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti... Oh, excuse me, it won't be the word.
Performers, showmen, show all of them. Cecil, what you're made of.
Ah, a little privacy at last. Out of earshot of that contemptible jester. We can finally speak freely. My true name is Nick. In life, I was an entertainer aboard the ship of the famed Pontius. Little did I know the abuse was only beginning. A wandering sorcerer, mad as the day is long, found my severed head on the beach, and when I asked him to return my head to my body, it must be in the Black Cove still, he became enraged and tossed my head into the sea. Reginald stumbled upon me some days later and consigned me into his horrid little show. I know not how long I've been entertaining slack-jawed imbeciles. More than anything. But the chances are so slim with the Black Cove utterly infested with Pontius's undead traveller. If there were any way you would brave the cove's depths and reunite me with myself, you'd be doing me the only kindness. That charlatan doesn't have a lick of his own talent. What I wouldn't give to give old Reggie a swip. It won't be the worst indication.
Enjoying the fair.
Come on! Come on! Can't you hear the stage calling you?
Don't donate your time to that charlatan! It's all over now. Without my clients, I'll starve. I'll be thrown into the cold. I'll have to sell my favorite silk underthings just to pay for firewood. This inbred fool of a... Don't speak that name in my presence. I'm certain he's either bewitched or bribed my... Who am I? Without a swelling... There's an old saying in show business. If your benches are empty once...
Oh, that Gallagher is quite the performer. One of my own ilk. Oh, just like old times. The rush.
The illusionist!
Best inside seal! The best!
Well, I'll be a goblin zunk.
All right.
Tis I!
I've just got back from the realm of...
Leave it up there!
Those...
Show all of them. Seal, what you're made of.
Enjoying the fair, aren't you? Right away, my dear, just as fast as your boots can carry. Speak to Master Chaucer if you're ready for your debut. He alone can adequately...
Hear the stage calling you.
Time to that charlatan!
What is it this time? Katerina's given the go-ahead. Tell me when you're ready to begin, and I'll show you to your places and gather you whatever crowd of drunken yokel... Ready for your trial by fire, you mean? There's no more savage foe than an... Not planning on playing to an empty audience, are you?
You hear distant mutterings of curiosity as a small crowd shuffles toward your stage. A few moments longer, and everyone will be seated. Now, let's not be hasty. They may be dragging their feet, but you're... Now, let's not be hasty.
The illusionist! I said, tis I, Reginald!
Come on! Come all! Can't you hear the stage calling you?
Perhaps he's rolled beneath the stage.
Performers, showmen, show all of the... Seal, what you're made of. What is it this time? Oh, here we go. Not planning on...
You hear distant mutterings of... Now, let's not be hasty. They may be dragging their feet, but your show is sure to knock the crowd's socks off. As soon as they settle into their seats, that is.
Wow.
The best inside seal! The best!
The stage is yours.
Well...
All right.
The crowd is completely appalled by your retelling. Are you...
You there? You look like an actor just
The
waiting for
action
his
was
big
innovative,
debut.
but the story was simply unforgivable.
Come on! Come all! Can't you hear the stage calling you? What is it this time? Oh, here. Not planning on...
You hear distant mutterings of curiosity. Now, let's not... Now.
Spectacle for you to gape at. What is it this time? Oh, not planning on playing to an empty...
You hear distant mutterings of curiosity as a small crowd shuffles toward your stage. A few moments longer, a few more moments, and the crowd will be all settled. A few more moments, and the crowd will be all settled. The stage is yours.
If I wanted to wait around doing nothing, I'd get a job at court.
Bravo! Fantastic!
The crowd breaks into an approving chuckle. Continue, by all means.
Good show!
Simply marvellous.
Eager to hear more, the crowd leans forward with great interest. One lady in the back is already chuckling. She must have heard this one before. The crowd's curiosity is piqued. Oh, do go on before they explode.
Fantastic!
Oh, I hope there's an encore.
Oh, I hope there's an
That's
encore.
it, Source Hunter. You've got this joyful crowd right where you want them. Now, take them on home. They like you. They really...
Performers, showmen, show all of them. Seal what you're made of.
That was really something else. I'll never forget it. Simply marvellous.
You look like an actor just waiting
Oh,
for
I
his
hope
big
there's an
debut.
encore.
Now, this is valuable.
What is it this time? Well, I must say that was, well, impressive. A bit like myself during my blue period. If I'd...
Who's it?
Woo!
You there? You look like an actor just waiting for his big debut.
Enjoying the fair, aren't you? Of course you are.
Wow.
Performers, showmen, show all of them.
Red and orange, yellow and green, the finest veggies size seals ever seen.
Ah, hello. I suppose you're here to viciously interrogate me for information I don't have, like our noble...
Tell me, Alistair.
So you're just hanging around the inn, are you? Waiting for what, exactly?